What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday. The market's open in a few hours. We all get our lives back. I know I'm not alone. It is going to be a very, very big week following from what happened on Friday. We know we had the Jackson Hole event. Most of our Fed speakers were talking, along with the man himself, Jerome Powell. And there again, markets did not like that at all. So we had a very, very hawkish, so a positive FOMC statement and announcement from Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. That obviously sent dollar rallying, all risk assets absolutely capitulating. You have the Dow Jones, the S&P, the Nasdaq all down over 3%. Bitcoin back below 20k, ETH at 1500, and so forth. There again, everything selling off. Gold as well. I have this debate with people sometimes where people think gold, supposedly being that safe haven, is going to go up in times like this. Every risk asset gets affected, whether you like it or not. Commodities do trade in tandem with growth expectations. Should growth expectations start to shrink with the recession in the loom, that is obviously going to put a lot of weight on these assets. So I'm going to run through what I'm looking out for. More importantly, how we can all capitalize on this week going forward. So let's jump on the charts and go from there. Stay tuned. Right, Dow Jones on the weekly time frame, the 2 weekly actually, we can see price came straight into my area of interest, and I actually made that big short YouTube video on pretty much that exact high of 34,000 and why I expect us to trade lower. So go check that video out. And for myself, I do understand as growth expectations continue to shrink, right? We need to understand all that is forecasting people spending less. Why are people spending less? Interest rates are rising. One key takeaway from Friday's event was Fed Chair Jerome Powell announced that they're going to be taking interest rates to over 4%, right? And keeping them there for a long time. So this obviously shows a very aggressive reaction from them, and that's going to hurt risk assets really, really badly. So Dow Jones, obviously, we had that massive decline on the day. From the high to the low of that week was a 6% move. So that is a very, very big move. And there again, looking back to 2008, that's the sort of chart markup that I had. Very, very similar price action to what we're seeing now. And there again, as the Federal Reserve raises interest rates, this is going to put a lot of pressure on consumers, on businesses. The sad truth is that 70 to 80% of the world rely on debt and credit, right? And loans and so forth to keep their businesses alive. The average consumer relies on a credit card every single month. You go ahead and raise the cost of that borrowing on that debt, people are going to have less disposable income to spend. That is naturally going to be affecting businesses which need that spending. So that is one of the main reasons why risk assets sold off, and I personally expect this continuation to occur. So Dow Jones, looking at that, we had that dirty sell-off straight out of an area of interest of mine, straight out of the fib as well. So for myself, what will I be doing? When trading something of such, I understand the proportions of the move that we've had, but I also understand the whole market's correlated. So whether I'm trading the Dow Jones or I'm trying to short euro dollar, it's all the same thing. So for myself, I am now going to be marking up areas of interest. So my first little area of interest, for this I use an arrow, by the way. My first area of interest is this previous low that was taken out, right? And I see a bit of a gap, right? I see a bit of a gap, which I feel needs to get filled. I'm going to take that low over there. Why? We had a very, very big move in the markets, taking out two previous lows. I've made a video on this. When you break two consecutive higher lows or lower highs in a very, very aggressive manner, you get that correction before the continuation in that direction. So for myself, I will be looking at a possible correction, and notice how that lines up beautifully with that 61.8 fib. Let's put that on the base. There we go. Very, very aggressive move. So I need to understand the market rallied straight into the close. What does that mean? That means you're more than likely going to have that continuation on the open. So something that you now need to do is look for where it could possibly head to. So you just got to find an area of interest for myself around the 3170. Let me mute my phone. I do apologize. So straight into that 3170 should the market obviously have that further drop. Now, so for myself, I favor short in the Dow. Again, I favor short in the S&P. Again, massive, massive moves, right? Very, very big. And there again, there are so many opportunities for us to capitalize on. So the S&P, a possible correction back into 41.20. But based on the volume, based on the size of the move, you're more than likely going to get that slide straight into the open this evening. Gold, same thing. I gave a short position in our group earlier on this week, and there again, my first initial target was the 1750 handle, and we fell an extra 120 pips to the downside. So for myself, there again, looking at the daily, very aggressive, right? Engulfing the prior, zoom in. Engulfing the prior 1, 2, almost 3 trading days. That weekly, there again, looking quite deadly. So I am looking at targeting these lows, if I'm honest, of 1700. So you got still another 380 pips, in my opinion, to the downside. Our whole goal then this week is looking to trade the correction or trade the retracement. So anything of such, it's a nice little area of interest for me. Any little correction back into these highs, let's go to the 1 hour, the 30-minute, you'll see what I mean. There you go. So this area of value has obviously been respected as a level of resistance, respected as a level of support multiple times, even over there. Once we broke through that, we can more than likely get that correction. Should the market obviously have a bit of a deeper retracement, then we may pop our heads back into 1746. So that could be another area of interest for me from there. So that's gold. And there again, dollar index, I have this beautifully marked up here as well. We're pretty much trapped in and around the highs I personally expected with the event that we had. I expected a bigger move on the dollar, especially to go ahead and break 109 and possibly make new highs. However, that can obviously happen into the close. So we've got to keep our eye out for that. We know this high is over there, so we're more than likely going to grab that liquidity and make a new high should that momentum follow through. I don't see anything that has changed over the weekend, so we're more than likely going to have this follow through. The likes of Euro obviously continuing its slide. I drew this area of interest there again, and we came ever so shy from that on the event, which is sad. However, it is what it is. You're not going to catch them all. But looking at that daily time frame, right? Extremely, extremely bearish. I think my last video I made, I had this inside bar over here drawn in, right? We rejected from the high ever so beautifully. Looking at that weekly time frame, price is extremely bearish. Price closed around that weekly low, but I do expect this to continue to the downside, if I'm honest. GBP USD, there again, extremely, extremely bearish. Let's get rid of some of that. Let's get rid of some of this. Actually, let's hide that for a second. That weekly is looking extremely bearish. Look at that, right? We obviously came straight into that 122 and we've melted. Price has now printed new lows, right, within this cycle, and we are targeting those COVID lows. Should price go ahead and break those COVID lows, I'm afraid to say that we can more than likely revisit the 110 handle, right? With the energy crisis that we have here in Europe, here in the UK, it's not looking pretty. This is going to affect growth. It's going to affect businesses. It's going to cause all this demand destruction, and that will obviously send dollar higher, everything else lower. So got to look out for that one. So that's cable. Pound yen. I know I speak about pound yen quite a lot. The weekly time frame is extremely exhaustive, and there again, I'm waiting for some sort of reaction, but that daily time frame is terrible, terrible, terrible. Gravestone doji over there. Oh, gravestone doji over there, rejecting from the highs. And there again, what can we see? Price has just shot itself straight into an area of liquidity. Look at that, right? The market repeats itself all the time. Honestly, it's not rocket science. Your whole goal is to spot the patterns, spot the shifting momentum, jump on the back of that. That's all you got to do, right? That's all you got to do. So that's pound yen for me. So for myself, if I have to put it in a nutshell, obviously BTC hovering around the 20k mark. You got ETH back below 1500, XRP 33 cents. So for myself, I'm going to be focusing on the Dow, right? I favor a bit of a correction into this area to then short the Dow further. If I miss the trade, it's something that we just got to take on the chin. Gold, more than likely, a little pop-up higher into 1742 than the possible rollover. Dollar, I expect more than likely this week, if I have to put a number on it, 110. Right, 110. I expect personally this continuation to continue to the upside. If anything happens, obviously I'll update you guys in a video. However, if this level of support does have to, by some reason, break, then we are going to see a bounce in cable, a bounce in euro, and so forth. However, for myself, I'm leaning to more of a bullish side on the dollar right now. So we could expect 110 on that. But that's it for me. I personally expect dollar strength to continue. Do you want to short the euro, short cable, short the Dow, short gold? You understand the correlation. But guys and girls, I'm going to end this video there. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy your Sunday evening. Don't rush on market open. Take your time. And yeah, have a great week. Trade safe. Stay tuned on the channel. More than likely Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll drop another video. So I'll see you there. Follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram there. Stay tuned on the channel. Like, share, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.